Chapter 10 of The Money Moon. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. The Money Moon, a Romance, by Jeffery Farnol. Chapter 10 How Bellew and Adam entered into a solemn league and covenant.
"Look at the moon tonight, Uncle Porges."
"I see it."
"It's awful big and round, isn't it?"
"Yes, it's very big, and very round."
"And rather yellow, isn't it?"
"Very yellow."
"Just like a great, big, golden sovereign, isn't it?"
"Very much like a sovereign, my Porges."
"Well, do you know, I was wondering if there was any chance that it was a money moon?"
They were leaning out at the lattice, Small Porges and Big Porges. Anthea and Miss Priscilla were busied upon household matters wholly feminine, wherefore Small Porges had drawn Bellow to the window, and there they leaned, the small body enfolded by Bellow's long arm, and the two faces turned up to the silvery splendor of the moon. But now, Anthea came up behind them, and, not noticing the position of Bellow's arm as she leaned on the other side of Small Porges, it befell that her hand touched, and, for a moment, rested upon Bellow's hand, hidden as it was in the shadow. And this, probably, began it. The air of Arcadia, as has been said before, is an intoxicating air, but it is more. It is an air charged with a subtle magic whereby the commonest objects, losing their prosaic, matter-of-fact shapes, become transfigured into things of wonder and delight. Little things that pass as mere ordinary commonplaces, things insignificant, and wholly beneath notice in the everyday world, become fraught with such infinite meaning, and may hold such sublime, such undreamed of possibilities, here in Arcadia. Thus, when it is recorded that Anthea's hand accidentally touched and rested upon Bellow's, the significance of it will become at once apparent. "And pray," said Anthea, laying that same hand in the most natural manner in the world, upon the Small Porges's curls, "pray, what might you two be discussing so very solemnly?"
"The moon," answered Small Porges. "I was wondering if it was a money moon, and Uncle Porges hasn't said if it is yet."
"Why no, old chap," answered Bellew, "I'm afraid not."
"And pray," said Anthea again, "what might a money moon be?" "Well," explained Small Porges, "when the moon's just so, then you go out and find a fortune, you know. But the moon's got to be a money moon, and you've got to know, you know, else you'll find nothing, of course."
"Ah, Georgy dear," sighed Anthea, stooping her dark head down to his golden curls, "don't you know that fortunes are very hard to get, and that they have to be worked for, and that no one ever found one without a great deal of labor, and sorrow?"
"'Course, everyone can't find fortunes, Auntie Anthea, I know that, but we shall. My Uncle Porges knows all about it, you see, and I know that we shall. I'm sure as sure we shall find one some day, 'cause, you see, I put it in my prayers now, at the end, you know, I say, 'And please help me and my Uncle Porges to find a fortune when the money moon comes, a big one, world without end, amen.' So you see, it's all right, and we're just waiting till the money moon comes, aren't we, Uncle Porges?"
"Yes, old chap, yes," nodded Bellew, "until the money moon comes." And so there fell a silence between them, yet a silence that held a wondrous charm of its own. A silence that lasted so long that the coppery curls drooped lower, and lower upon Bellow's arm, until Anthea, sighing, rose, and in a very tender voice, bade Small Porges say good night, the which he did, forthwith, slumberous of voice, and sleepy-eyed, and so, with his hand in Anthea's, went drowsily up to bed. Wherefore, seeing that Miss Priscilla had bustled away into the kitchen, Bellew sauntered out into the rose garden to look upon the beauty of the night. The warm air was fragrant with dewy scents, and the moon, already high above the tree tops, poured down their gentle radiance upon the quaint, old garden with its winding walks, and clipped yew hedges, while upon the quiet, from the dim shadow of the distant woods, stole the soft, sweet song of a nightingale. Bellew walked a path bordered with flowers, and checkered with silver patches of moonlight, drinking in the thousand beauties about him, staring up at the glory of the moon, the indigo of the sky, and listening to the voice of the lonely singer in the wood. And yet it was of none of these he was thinking as he paused under the shadow of King Arthur, nor of Small Porges, nor of anyone or anything in this world, but only of the sudden, light touch of a warm, soft hand upon his. "Be that you, sir?" Bellew started, and now he found that he had been sitting, all this while, with an empty pipe between his teeth, yet content therewith, wherefore he shook his head, and wondered. "Be that you, Mr. Bellew, sir?" "Yes, Adam, it is I." "Ah! and how might ye be feeling now, arter your exercise with the pitchfork, sir?" "Very fit, I thank you, Adam. Sit down and smoke, and let us converse together." "Why, thankee, sir," answered Adam, producing the small black clay pipe from his waistcoat pocket, and accepting Bellew's proffered pouch. "I've been up to the house a visitin' Prudence the cook, and a rare cook she be too, Mr. Bellew, sir." "And a rare buxom girl into the bargain, Adam." "Oh, ah! Well, she's well enough, sir, I won't go for to deny as she's a fine, upstanding, well-shaped, tall, and proper figure of a woman as ever was, sir, though the Kentish lasses be a tidy lot, Mr. Bellew, sir. But Lord, when you come to think of her gift of Yorkshire puddin', likewise jam rollers and seed cakes, which, though mentioned last, ain't by no manner of means least, when you come to think of her brew o' ale, and cider, and ginger wine, why then, I'm took, sir, I'm took altogether, and the old Adam inside of me works hisself into such a state that if another chap, especially that there Job Jagway, gets looking her way, and too often, why it's got to get took out of him, or took out of me in good hard knocks, Mr. Bellew, sir." "And when are you going to get married, Adam?" "Well, sir, we was thinking that if Miss Anthea has a good season, this year, we'd get it over and done with some time in October, sir, but it's all accordin'." "According to what?" "To the 'ops, sir, the HOPS, 'ops, sir. They're comin' on fine, scrumptious they be. If they don't take the blight, sir, they'll be the finest 'ops this side of Maidstone. But then, if they do take the blight, why then, my 'opes is blighted likewise, sir. BLITED, blighted, Mr. Bellew, sir." Which said, Adam laughed once, nodded his head several times, and relapsed into puffing silence. "Mr. Cassilis was over today, Adam," said Bellew, after a while pursuing a train of thought. "Ah, sir, I seen him, he also seen me. He told me as Job Jagway was up and about again. Likewise Job Jagway will be over here tomorrow, along with the rest of 'em, for the sale, sir." "Ah, yes, the sale," said Bellew, thoughtfully. "To think o' that there Job Jagway a comin' over here to buy Miss Anthea's furniture, do set the old Adam a workin' inside of me to that amazing extent as I can't sit still, Mr. Bellew, sir. And if that there Job crosses my path tomorrow, well, let him. Look out, that's all." Saying which, Adam doubled up a huge knotted fist, and shook it at an imaginary Job. "Adam," said Bellew in the same thoughtful tone, "I wonder if you would do something for me?" "Anything you ax me, sir, so long as you don't want me to—" "I want you to buy some of that furniture for me." "What?" exclaimed Adam, and vented his great laugh again. "Well, if that ain't a good 'un, sir, why that's just what I'm a-going to do. You see, I ain't what you might call a rich cove, nor yet a millionaire, but I've got a bit put by, and I drawed out £10 yesterday. Thinks I, here's to save Miss Anthea's old sideboard, or the mirror as she's so fond of, or if not, why then a chair or so. They ain't a-going to get it all, not while I've got £1 or 2, I says to myself." "Adam," said Bellew, turning suddenly, "that sentiment does you credit, that sentiment makes me proud to have knocked you into a ditch. Shake hands, Adam." And there, beneath the great apple tree, while the moon looked on, they very solemnly shook hands. "And now, Adam," pursued Bellew, "I want you to put back your £10, keep it for Prudence, because I happen to have rather more than we shall want. See here." And with the words, Bellew took out a leathern wallet, and from this wallet, money and bank notes. More money, and more bank notes than Adam had ever beheld in all his 30-odd years, at sight of which his eyes opened, and his square jaw relaxed, to the imminent danger of his cherished clay pipe. "I want you to take this," Bellew went on, counting a sum into Adam's nerveless hand, "and tomorrow, when the sale begins, if anyone makes a bid for anything, I want you to bid higher, and no matter what, you must always buy. Always, you understand." "But sir, that there old drawing room cabinet with the carvings." "Buy it. And the silver candlesticks, and the 4-post bedstead, and the—" "Buy 'em, Adam, buy everything. If we haven't enough money, there's plenty more where this came from. Only buy. You understand?" "Oh, yes sir, I understand. How much have you give me?" "Why, here's 45, 50, 60. Lord!" "Put it away, Adam. Forget all about it till tomorrow. And not a word, mind." £100! gasped Adam. "Lord! Oh, I won't speak of it, trust me, Mr. Bellew, sir, but to think of me a-walking about with £100 in my pocket, Lord! I won't say nothin', but to think of old Adam with £100 in his pocket, ecod, it do seem that comical." Saying which, Adam buttoned the money into a capacious pocket, slapped it, nodded, and rose. "Well, sir, I'll be going. There be Miss Anthea in the garden yonder, and if she was to see me now, there's no saying but I should be took a-laughing to think o' this 'ere £100. "Miss Anthea? Where?" "Coming through the rose garden. She be off to see old Mother Dibbin. They call Mother Dibbin a witch, and now, as she's down with the rheumatics, there ain't nobody to look arter her, 'cept Miss Anthea. She'd a starved afore now if it 'adn't been for Miss Anthea. But Lord love your eyes and limbs, Mr. Bellew, sir, Miss Anthea don't care if she's a witch, or 50 witches, not she. So, good night, Mr. Bellew, sir, and mum's the word." Saying which, Adam slapped his pocket again, nodded, winked, and went upon his way. End of chapter 10.